This is the rarest license plate in American history, and the reason why there's so few of them around today is all because a century ago, one man wanted to stick it to the government. So this is that story. Until 1912, most automobiles in Mississippi were just unregistered. But on June 1st of that year, a new law took effect that required license plates statewide for the very first time. And those would cost owners between $5 and $25 to obtain, depending on the type of vehicle they had. But a man in Jackson by the name of H.C. Lawrence really wasn't all about that new law, so he decided to ignore it, and that eventually resulted in his arrest. But Mr. Lawrence wasn't just going to take that sitting down, and by the summer of 1913, he had escalated his case, State v. Lawrence, all the way to the Mississippi Supreme Court, which, to almost everyone's surprise, ruled that because the plates only cost 17.5 cents to produce, and the act of registering them was no more than a clerk writing 9 lines in a book, charging up to $25 for plates was in fact unconstitutional. Mr. Lawrence won, and in an unprecedented move, the state Supreme Court reversed the existence of Mississippi license plates altogether. Now, after that ruling, the legislature ordered the state to pay back all $28,040 it had collected from registration fees up until that point. But it's believed that for drivers to get that refund, they would have to turn in their current Mississippi license plates to prove that they'd paid for them in the first place. And because even $5 was no small amount of money back then, it's believed that virtually all 1912 and 1913 Mississippi license plates were given back to the government to be destroyed. Now fast forward about 70 years, it's 1985, and a famous license plate collector named Dr. Roy Klotz puts an ad in a Jackson newspaper seeking 1912 Mississippi license plates, of which about 3 were known at that time. When, out of the blue, he receives a reply from some guy who says, well, I don't have any 1912 Mississippi plates for you, but I do have a 1913. And that was a major deal because up until that point, it wasn't even thought that Mississippi issued plates in 1913. None were known to exist. But Dr. Klotz's discovery set off a gold rush, and while in the years since a few more 1913 Mississippis have been uncovered, still, to this day, only 4 are known to exist, which is 1 fewer than the 1921 Alaska, which, while not technically the rarest plate in the United States, does hold the record for being the most valuable.